All right, good morning. This is Google Earth World History Lesson number 1, Early Human Migration. I have this geared basically towards middle school students. Before I begin, I just want to review the Google Earth layout and recommend that you download this yourself. Over here on the left, if you open up the file, these folders open up. It'll look like this, and then when you open up or expand the folder, you will see layers and folders and pins. Okay, I highly recommend that you download Google Earth yourself. It's really easy to find. Just Google Earth Pro for desktop and download it, open it up, and this is what you'll find. Okay, let's start the lesson. This lesson is early human migrations, and the first humans were believed to be here in Africa. And you can see if I turn on the labels, this is Tanzania, and this is, I believe, Lake Victoria. So the first humans were believed to be somewhere around here. I also want to say real quick that these arrows aren't mine. I found this folder, I found this Google Earth file online somewhere, and the arrows and the labels were already here, and then I added some of the pins and some of the other things. Okay, so first humans here migrated, all right, all the way up here into Arabia. Across here, they went here. They also went up into Europe. We're talking about 100,000 years ago. Across here, down into India, down here into Malaysia. Now, some of this was land bridge. Some of this area where you see the light blue could have been land at the time, okay, because of the ice ages. But this darker land here, the darker water here, was never solid land. At least scientists don't think so anyway. 50,000 BC, the humans are in Australia, okay, migrating across Asia, probably following herds of animals. This is the land bridge between Russia and Alaska. Let me put this upright so it looks more familiar. Here's Russia today, and here is Alaska, the United States. Down through Canada, this is North America. Let me put this straight again for you. Okay, down into North America, across here, hunters and gatherers, eventually all the way through the land bridge between North and South America, where Panama is today. You can see the word Panama. Down into South America, when they eventually became the Incas, the Maya and the Aztec were here, and the Incas down here in Peru and the Andes Mountains regions right here, and across here you would have still had indigenous hunters and gatherers that never created large civilizations. At least scientists don't know yet. They haven't found any evidence. And by 10,000 BC, they were down here to the bottom of South America. Okay? Now notice there's no people here. All right, now let me go back through this with my pins. If you notice over here, I put pins. And each time you double click on a pin, it'll go to that pin and it'll open up the little explanation. So let's start back from the beginning. First, humans. So my world turns by itself. And my pin says that scientists believe they've found the oldest known tools somewhere here in Tanzania, Africa. The tools they found may be 2.6 million years old. That's a long time ago. Okay, let's move up here. 100,000 years ago. Scientists believe that humans migrated out of Africa and into Southwest Asia about 100,000 years ago. So they would have crossed just up here along this small land bridge between Africa and Asia. This is technically Asia, and they call it Southwest Asia because it's south and west of the main part of Asia. Now let's go to the land bridge or canoes one. When they were going down here into the Malaysia area, Indonesia area, it says humans probably used canoes to cross these waters. Scientists don't think there were land bridges here because the water wasn't low enough during the ice ages. Now, the was a land bridge up here. There was a land bridge here because ocean levels were low enough to expose the land underneath. See the light blue regions? Most of that was probably land and ice. If you look here, it's not very far. The oceans wouldn't have to be very low for this to have been exposed land. And I measured this one time, and it's only about 50 something miles between here. Now, let me show you. Take this measuring tool, set it on miles, click here, click there, 57 miles. Isn't that cool? All right, let's go to the next one, pass through the glaciers. Scientists believe that when the glaciers began to melt, humans were able to follow animals through a large path down into North America. So as the glaciers began to melt somewhere along here, they were able to actually come through those glaciers. So the scientists don't believe that the humans walked on the glaciers from there to there. Some scientists believe that early humans may have made large canoes or kayaks and used them to go around the glaciers and skip down along the coast areas to warmer climates in the south. So they have found evidence of coastal civilizations or coastal settlements here that are hundreds, 10, 20,000 years old, tools and whatnot. So how did they get there? They just assumed that maybe they used canoes to go and from Alaska down into the California area. Eventually, humans reached the southern region of South America about 10,000 years ago, give or take a couple thousand years. Scientists have found no evidence, and I always stress no evidence yet, because scientists are always finding things. But so far, scientists have found no evidence that people ever settled here. The waters and the weather between South America up here and Antarctica are extremely rough, windy, and stormy. So their canoes wouldn't have been able to get them here. Also, Antarctica is too cold for humans to settle there without modern technology to protect them from the freezing temperature. So today, there are scientists who live here, but only because they have the technology to protect them from the climate. Lastly, there's no evidence that anything has ever grown here. So scientists don't find ancient trees or layers of fossil that show that there's any growth, at least not yet. Now, I'm often asked whether early humans were able to get from Europe to North America, and the answer is no, not yet. There's no evidence that prehistoric people ever crossed from Europe over to the east coast regions of North America. The Vikings may have sailed to Iceland, then Greenland, and then back down to North America, but the Vikings are not considered ancient world history. All right, so you find some textbooks that say the Vikings were the first to discover America, but they didn't stay, they didn't settle, and they went back. Columbus and the Europeans were the first people to, quote, discover that there were people living over here when they sailed from Europe, Spain, basically over here, and landed here. But the people were already there. They'd been there since 13,000 BC. And they came through Asia. Okay? All right, that's our lesson. Remember, Jesus loves you and he wants to bless you. So seek him and he will come to you. Have a great day. Bye.